Hello, tarot friends, and welcome back to Tantra and Tarot with Kelly. Today, we're going to chat about all of the September energies, and I'll briefly go through the astrology and my interpretation for this month, and then we will see what the cards have to say. You can skip to the reading by using the timestamp below. But first off, I'd like to wish a happy birthday to all Virgos out there. Thanks for all the joy you bring to the world, and happy birthday. And also, thanks so much to my subscribers. You're helping me grow as a channel. Please click the subscribe button below to help me grow, and share and like this video if you appreciate it. Thanks so much. I'm going to keep this reading short because I realize we all have things to do in the spirit of Virgo season. So I'm going to just start shuffling, and then we will get started. Okay, so how does this month's astrology feel to me? Well, as we are navigating acceptance for our choices and feelings during the Venus retrograde season, we are now owning those lessons at this point. With Venus going direct on the 3rd, we should have a lot more answers for our heart right now, especially after that doozy of a Saturn opposite Sun last week. So don't sweat the small stuff at this point. We have the Sun in Virgo now and a new moon coming up on September 15th to support our new ways. Bottom of the deck, when I cut, I've got the moon card, very much highlighting that huge super moon that we had in Pisces. That is the Pisces card. I'm sure it brought a lot of emotion and intuition to those who were looking for answers from that moon. It was very powerful and very emotional as well, I would say. So as we move further in this month, negotiations and contracts could feel extra highlighted due to Mars in Libra. And just know that you don't have to fight your way into a world that is right for you. As you consider different points of view, it may feel like I've got my ways and you've got yours, which is perfectly okay. So, what's my advice in all of this? Well, get to the point. Universally, for yourself and for others. It may feel like, what was the point in all of this? Especially as we near the full moon in Aries on the 29th. Our long season of inner work is still in effect, with many planets still retrograde at this time, including Jupiter that goes retrograde on the 4th. However, just continue to enjoy the ride and know what it means for you, not anyone else. When Mercury goes direct on the 16th, though, the point may be overtly obvious what it was all about. So as you find a place to land with your new values, the outside soon will catch up. But just remember where your inner compass is set, and don't get lost in the meantime. There's been some confusion and some illusions that were broken down during that full moon in Pisces. So just wait patiently, though, with a sharp mind and clear reasoning like a good Virgo does, and the inner and outer will merge here soon into a new reality, likely in the spring of 2024. Until then, take time to breathe out, allow the shift to occur on an inner level, and keep those pencils sharpened. Okay, so let's see what we have for the cards. I still need to grab a romance angel, wants to be that one, and an archetype card. All righty, let's grab that archetype card right here. I'm gonna go with this one. Okay. Okay, so let's see what we have here. At the bottom of the deck, when I cut, I've got the World card. And so what does that say to me? Well, we've been through a long process right now. And what this Venus retrograde may have taught us is that we have reached the end now. We are at the completion point. There is a graduation that's happening here. Because Saturn, the universe, all of the malefics see what you have done. They see your hard work, and they say now you've graduated that lesson. And so that can be very feel very nice after having just so much going through our heads and hearts. It may be very positive to know that you've already done the hard part, that you've done the inner work. Maybe you still have to take your finals, however, but you've already learned all of the lessons. So that is very good to know. Past energy, we've got the Daughter of Swords. That is the Page of Swords. Current energy, I have the Father of Pentacles. Future energy, Eight of Pentacles. And the main energy for the reading this month I have is the Death card. So that is our Scorpio card. I'm also seeing in here a lot of Earth and perhaps fixed signs with the World. So let's just see what these other cards have to say here. So our archetype card I have is Seeker. The romance angel is Deception. And then our animal spirit card I have is the Golden Egg, which is the heart chakra. I love that for our Venus going direct. The Moonology card I have, well, nothing will come from this situation. Void of course moon. We'll talk more about that here in a little bit. And then I have two I Ching cards. I have number 50, the Cauldron, and number 63, which is the second to last card in the I Ching. So really like how these are matching up with the tarot here. Let's talk a little bit about it in more detail. Okay, so in the past, you may have gotten some pieces of information. Right now, we currently have Mercury in retrograde in Virgo right now. So bringing up little bits of the truth, little bits of information that maybe you didn't know about, or maybe you've gotten something interesting in the mail or an interesting email that came through, some kind of a message that said to you, okay, I better start focusing on this money game right now. I better think about what these small steps mean to me, because it looks like money is going to be really important this month. With Virgo being mutable Earth, I would say that if your money is not working for you, it's a good time to juggle it up and put in the effort to make it work. Eight of Pentacles. And that could be a massive change for you. How you did money in the past may not be how you're doing it now. And that could be due to some bills that have come in. Maybe you have some extra expenses that came up during Venus retrograde season, and now you need to put some boundaries around your structure. We want to build a structure that's going to be successful for the future. And in order to build walls that are secure and safe, we need to change what it is that we're doing. And that's going to bring a lot more confidence in the area of being in charge of the money, of being in charge of the family. This is much like the Capricorn card. And that fatherly influence could feel really important now. We did do some reflection on the maternal influences on that Venus. And so now with that going direct, you just may feel more whole. With, Venus rules money as well as love. So the lessons that we learned around money and around what it is that we need to let go of, as well as far as our habits are concerned, could, yes, be overtly clear. And that may be what comes out and about when Mercury goes direct, that, okay, I did get the message here. I realized that there's a lot to work for, and it's going to take time and effort and a sustained effort over time to reach that goal, to reach that completion. But I think now you do have the plan. This may have been restructuring the plan and what that will bring. I did cut the deck to see what that middle energy would be. And I've got the Ten of Swords here. And so that means that there is some endings, and maybe what brought you pain in the past, you're just like, I can't do that anymore. And maybe on a financial level or an emotional level, but you just know that you can't go backwards anymore. That reflection period taught you what this was for you. I mean, this bowl here is looks miserable. I mean, like, you can't die anymore. How can you die any more than this, right? I mean, that is pretty much the end, right? The end of that experience. And so, you don't want to have this experience anymore, which is why you have to do this thing now. So what didn't work for you before is going to be, you're going to be seeing things from a new perspective. You're going to be setting up those boundaries that are very important for success. And then you're going to be putting in that effort. And don't be surprised if you have a Scorpio sneaking in. We do have Scorpio season coming up. Like we have here with the death card. So don't be afraid of what's lurking in the depths right now. Once that comes up to the surface, it will be an awakening for you. And that's going to be on the heart level. So that's really awesome. We have the golden egg card here, which is the spiritual card for the heart chakra. And so what does that heart chakra say? It says that there is an unstruck sound within that we need to listen to, a quieter message that really contains the answers. It's not going to be that loud bugle playing in the background. It's not going to be that chatty news person on television. It's going to be when everything's quiet and there's no distraction and you're sitting with yourself, looking within, like the Virgo does, looking within for the answers, and you'll hear what your heart wants. And it's likely fairly simple. It's not all that fanfare and complication. It's the ease of being itself. So finding ease within yourself, just got the chills, that may just feel a little uncomfortable. Maybe it's not what you're used to doing, and you have to let go of what it was that you were doing in order to find that peace. And maybe that is for you work. Maybe you've been working too hard. So there's always that balance. So finding that balance within yourself is going to be a key marker in this month. And you'll know the clues. You'll feel the clues when you get closer to the answer. And you're going to be seeking out what that is here. Seeker, light attribute, thirst for wisdom and truth wherever they are. And our wisdom planet, the planet of wisdom, is Jupiter. And that's going retrograde on the 4th. And so it's going to be natural to take that seeking onto the inside now, as opposed to doing the worldly thing. Resting a bit more, looking within to see what those answers are. And even if you are going on some kind of a big trip, like this person is crossing the desert, you can still do that inner work while you're outside enjoying some new adventure. It says shadow attribute, inability to commit to a path once found. So like we said in at the beginning, get to the point for yourself. What is the point for you? And that point is going to guide you in the direction you want to go, much like the beacon or a flashlight. Keep your light shining on that direction, even if you're just shining it on yourself. Keep it shining within. And then if you reach a dark part, you know where the light is shining. You didn't turn off that inner light, and that's going to be the direction in which you're going at this time. Our moon card says that nothing will come of this situation, void of course moon. So this is a very interesting card. The void of course is when the moon is not making any aspects. That happens from time to time. And a lot of times when the moon is not making aspects, we just aren't really quite sure how we feel. And there may have been plans that you set in the past that aren't coming to fruition. There could be delays. There could have been some disappointments. But either way, worry about the worst of situations. Nothing will come of that, meaning like, I don't feel like there's some sort of foreboding thing as to maybe why something didn't work out. I feel like there is more of a softer answer, and you will know within time like why things had to change. But it may not seem really loud. Like it just may seem like some quiet messages. You're like, oh yeah, I get it now. I know why that didn't come to pass. there were things I worried about that I now understand. I didn't have to worry so much. It was going to be okay anyway. So just keep that in your heart and keep that in your mind, and don't push so much for the answer right now. Like, I know we're trying to get to the point, but you don't have to like push others. The point lies within you. And so just know that if there are things that you were unsure about at this point. Okay. And then, of course, then there are the people who are not truthful. so so let's not have that be you. It says here, someone is wearing a false self mask in their relationship. And that's the type of relationship that goes through one of these, that goes through this death process. You just got to let them go. If you're not deceiving yourself, then it's very clear what the truth is. You may have done a little spying. This can be some online spying. Perhaps you saw somebody do something online and you're like, oh, well, now I know. Well, now you know. Okay. Well, maybe you already knew. And now it's just clear. And that full moon that we had and that full super moon in Pisces, that may have shown what's been deceiving you. It may have shown where the deception was happened. It's likely the end of illusions. The disillusionment wave has come through and it's broken down all of those cherished illusions that you were used to running to, and the at the times where you needed an escape. Well, you just can't escape the truth, and that's a good thing. We don't want to be caught up in the illusion anymore. We want to know the truth. That way, your path is lit and it's guided and it's going in the right direction. And it's not based on what somebody else wanted for you. It's based on what you wanted for you. And those naysayers, they can just take a back seat, including the thoughts in your head that don't align with the point that you're trying to discover at this point. All right, so let's take a look at this I Ching. I will say the Cauldron card, I love this card as it relates to the Death card, because it is like that deep inner churning, that eighth house, in which a lot comes up from the root up. So you may be reinvigorating your root chakra along with your heart chakra in order to have a strong base. But just know that things were likely still in the cooking phase. We are not, it's still stirring the cauldron, right? The witches are still having their way with it. It's not ready to go yet. The stew's not quite ready. So I'm going to read a bit about the Cauldron card, and then we'll read a bit about number 63, which is the end, much like we have the World card here. So let's see what we have for number 50, the Cauldron. Fire above, wind below. The cauldron symbolizes nourishment and rejuvenation. Sooner or later, good comes to those who do good. Joy comes to those who bring joy to others. Opportunity comes to those who persist in their dreams. Rejuvenation is returning to one's natural desires and the recharging of batteries that comes from making progress towards one's aspirations. This reading suggests nourishment and transformation of the good will. Good fortune and success are indicated here. Healthy, regular sustenance is vitally important, as symbolized by the cooking pot, which provides nourishment to all. When the cycle of humanity reaches its apex, each person's sustenance comes in the form of fulfilling their deepest needs and desires. And that may be your point, is that deep need, desire that you're yearning for. Rejuvenation means that people in honorable pursuit of their dreams are properly nourished and valued. When society is functioning properly, such people are supported and encouraged to contribute their best abilities. A fresh approach to old habits is indicated. Look for ways of putting new life into old forms. Only when great vitality is present can real breakthrough be achieved. And so if you're worried about, like, how is this going to work? How would that work? Just let it go. Just let it go. Don't try to make aspects to it. Don't try to make the connections. Let the universe have its way for a while and seek within how you're going to allow that to happen. All right, number 63. But I know everyone's been working really hard. I know this time has not been easy, but getting closer to the answers. After completion, it says, after completion. It is fine irony that after completion of a project or grand enterprise, there's still much to do. Completion is merely a pause in the cycle of creation and decay, a momentary still point for the swinging pendulum of life. Though completion implies a period of restful pause, one that has been well earned, it is not actually an ending. It is a harmonious flat spot in the constancy of change and movement, like the still point between inhalation and the exhalation of one's breath. It's called the turn as you're doing the breath. So, inhale, pause at the turn, then exhale. One image of after completion hexagram is that of a kettle of water boiling over the fire. How interesting, like our cauldron here. When the forces are balanced, the water boils properly. When the pot is too full and boils over, it puts out the fire. If the fire is too hot for too long, it can evaporate all the water. In maintaining the equilibrium that follows the completion of an arduous task, forces at work in this situation must be monitored carefully to ensure that proper balance is maintained. This is a time of fine-tuning, a time for refinements and embellishment of what has been accomplished. Even as we are enjoying a rewarding situation, the laws of natural world dictate that influence and success must eventually decline. Don't let your current good fortune give rise to adopting attitude that is too careless or relaxed. So definitely having a lot of consciousness in your actions, even small ones. Whatever is successful or already established needs to be carefully maintained without trying to expand it right now. What is incomplete should be brought to fruition without delay. And take satisfaction upon completion, enjoying a sense of fulfillment, but do not linger too long on the ending. So we may have had a big ending with the full moon. We're going to have another one here coming up at the end of the month with our full moon in Aries, and the endings will just keep coming, but then the new will come as well. So know what that means for you. I'm sure this has been a big time of reflection for many. And, to each his own. Just know that no one person's conclusion is going to be the same as another's. We're all here to live our individual lives. So don't be judging either what other people are concluding and how they feel like they've completed it. All right, so let's look at our changing lines here. Let's see, we have changing lines. 1, 2, 3 doesn't change, 4 changes, 5, 6. So we are going to read line number 1, 2, 3. We're going to read the only unchanging line on card number 50. Okay, so card number 50, line 3 says, you are impeded in your progress. Resources are being squandered. Perhaps your talents are not being recognized. But if you meet difficulties with a good attitude, the challenges will be overcome. Sure, you may be confronted with obstacles or perhaps even some loss, but good fortune comes in the end to those whose character is solid. Oh, I love that. And I love that with our Father of Pentacles. Solid character, solid work, solid love as well. I want to say thanks so much for everyone to coming and enjoying my reading today. I wish you a lovely Virgo season. Don't forget to take a little time out for yourself and enjoy this month. I'll be back here soon with a couple of quickie readings and also something for the beginning of October. Have a lovely month. Please subscribe to my channel for more Tantra and Tarot.